When you build an attractive physique, when you start to get that body that lets you stand out, the attention that you get is kind of unreal. And nobody who actually has the physique disagrees with this. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Once you've put in that work, just like I have, to build an attractive physique, to build the type of body that is so rare nowadays, it's just natural that both men and women are going to be intrigued by it. Me personally, I've been skinny, I've been slightly overweight as well, and nothing can compare to when you're lean, when you're attractive, when you've got a V-taper, where you've got defined abs all the time, where you've got chiseled facial features all the time. I never had girls coming up to me, giving me compliments, starting conversations, saying, do you cheat? Saying, do you model? Asking how many girls I'm talking to. I never had guys coming up to me saying, yo bro, how you so shredded? Yo bro, what do you eat? Yo bro, how many times a week do you work out? I never got that type of attention until I got the type of physique that deserves it, until I put in that work consistently, stayed disciplined consistently, and built that physique that just makes you stand out to other people. There's a lot of false premises that guys have, and also limiting beliefs on building an attractive physique, on the type of physique that is actually attractive to women and gets you attention. Some guys are going to the gym with the sole purpose of bulking up as much as possible, building as much muscle as possible, just getting a bulked up type of bodybuilder physique that can lift a lot of weight and, like a gorilla basically. And if that's what you want to do, no problem, but that's not the type of physique that's the most appealing to women. And 99% of guys who are going to the gym do want to become more attractive in some aspects. So it would be more worthwhile to focus on building the attractive physique, building the type of physique that actually appeals to the female gaze and makes you look proud of makes you proud of yourself, makes you happy when you look in the mirror and you see that you're shredded, you see that you've got a nice V-taper, you look attractive to yourself as well. There's a reason why models, who are deemed the most attractive people in society, right? They're never above 10% body fat. They're never taking steroids to build as much muscle as possible. They've never got a big blocky bodybuilder stocky physique, right? That's never the case. Now, of course, I'm talking about models who are actually attractive, not the plus size models that are just there to make fat people feel better. Obviously, I know your brain works correctly. You can discern from actual models and just fucking fake ones. But the models that I'm talking about, they've got lean, attractive physiques. They've got physiques that appeal to the female gaze. But also, men like that physique as well. That's why they're modeling. That's why they're modeling clothes that men are gonna buy, that women are gonna see as well. So get that type of physique that is actually attractive. Get that type of physique that has you looking like you're a model, like you're a fitness model. As for the limiting beliefs that some guys have, I don't have the height to be attractive, I don't have the genetics. Well, these are usually issues for people who are chronically online, Me personally, I'm 5'8", right? And the attention that I get from women should be impossible, according to these people. Now, I live in reality where the average guy is 25% body fat and no muscle. So when you've got 10% body fat with a V-taper, of course the results are going to be there. As for the genetics, some guys will say, I can't get lean, I can't build muscle, I don't have the genetics for it. Well, have these guys gone to the gym for 3 years straight, not skipped many sessions, trained correctly till failure with proper form, with a specific program, slept correctly, 8 to 10 hours a night, tracked the nutrition, tracked the calories, ate whole foods? Of course not. Of course they haven't done that. Because if they did do all those things, the things it takes to get an attractive physique, to be disciplined, to be consistent, if they did those things, then they would have the physique. They wouldn't be complaining about it because they would have it. They wouldn't complain about the genetics because they wouldn't have that limiting belief in their mind that they can't do something because of something that's out of their control. It's a complete falsity. So you need to absolutely destroy those beliefs if you have them, because that will hold you back from getting that attractive physique. That will hold you back from becoming the most attractive version of yourself. Almost everything in your life is within your control. Most things in your life are within your control. Even if they're not, you should still act as if they are in your control, because you need to hold yourself accountable to actually achieve the things that you want to achieve. When you have this victim mindset, I can't do X because of Y, of course you will never do that thing, because you just have this false belief, this false premise, these limiting beliefs in your mind that are going to stop you from doing everything in your power to get the result that you want. When you've got that V-taper, a nice shoulder to waist ratio, the girls just start looking at you different. Like, now you actually look like a man. Now you look like you can put it on her. Do you know what I mean? Now you look capable. Girls will say, I just want a guy who treats me nice. I just want a guy I'm fine with a guy who has a dad bod. And I'm not really paying attention to all that. I'm just looking at the actions. I'm just looking at how girls are treating guys who are average, with average physiques. compared to me, who has an attractive physique, who set himself apart. And believe me, I would much rather be on this side of the fence. When you've got that attractive physique that just surpasses you in terms of value to a lot of guys, the reality you deal with is completely different. Girls are making themselves available. Girls are not giving you the barriers of entry that most other average guys have, and that's just how it is. As a man, realistically, you only want to deal with women who are looking at you and thinking, yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, that's a bit of me. I'm very attracted to him, right? Most guys, they just don't have that. They just don't have that because they're not attractive. They've not put in the work to make themselves look as good as possible. And even if they do have some women who are thinking that, those women are going to be far below their ideal standard, right? To put it plainly. So you need to put yourself in the best possible perspective. Whether you want to deal with multiple women or you just want one loyal girlfriend. Like most guys actually just want one loyal girlfriend, high quality, good looking, right? You're not going to have that if you're not attractive yourself. You're not going to have that if you've put yourself in a negative light by being skinny, by being overweight, like more likely, right? You're not going to have that because when you initially meeting a woman, when you're meeting a woman, she's looking at you, she's judging you just off the appearance alone straight away, right? The other things come after that. She has to be attracted to you first of all. She has to look at you and think, yeah, he's my type. And you only get that with a lot of women and with the higher quality women when you're attractive yourself, when you've got a good physique. If you're overweight, you're not looking good. Honestly, like when you're overweight, you're just not gonna look good, genuinely. If you're 25% body fat, your face is going to be bloated, puffy, your stomach is gonna be round, you know, you might not even be able to see do you know what I mean? Like that's not a good light to be in. That's not a good perspective. That's not a good way to come across when you meet someone, both men and women, by the way, as well, right? Even to make friends, to make social connections, men are not really going to respect you when you're 25% body fat because you don't respect yourself. Women as well, right? How can a woman or a man respect you when you clearly don't respect yourself with the way that you eat and the way that you take care of yourself? It just doesn't happen. So you need to get that attractive physique. You need people to look at you like you need it. This is a social world, right? You get things by coming across well to other people. You need people to look at you and think, yeah, this guy is a man of purpose. This guy respects himself. This guy has things going for him, clearly, because he's made it a priority to actually take care of himself. So when you've got an attractive physique, that's the way that you start to come across to a lot of people. Specifically with women, right? It sounds so simplistic when you put it like this, but literally the way your body is shaped is heavily affecting how she's perceiving you. And I mean, men do the same thing. I always say this, like when you see a girl with an hourglass physique, big ass, you know, thick thighs, big tits, whatever, right? You're looking at her thinking, yeah, like you're not even thinking really, your primal attraction is just going through the roof. Your mind is just racing, right? When a girl sees a guy who has the equivalent, a V-taper physique, that's the equivalent for a male, right, of the hourglass physique for a woman. Similar things are happening, genuinely. She's starting to feel things in her body. And that's the effects that you want to have when a woman looks at you. When a woman is looking at you and she's thinking, she's not even thinking, like I said, she's not even thinking, it's just the primal attraction is going through the roof. Her mind is starting to race because you're looking like the ideal male physique. You're looking like a Greek god. You can build that type of physique with enough work, discipline, consistency. You can build that type of physique that has that type of effects on women. And that's when you start to have it easy. Honestly, like I don't try to brag too much. I mean, it might seem like that, but the impacts you have on women, the amount of effortlessness to date and to do things when you have an attractive physique is genuinely insane. Like I've been to a bar, for example, and I've pounded like 2 or 3 girls in the same night in the bathroom. Like these are things that are unbelievable to a lot of guys, right? To some incels, to guys who don't take care of themselves, who don't go outside and, you know, talk to women because they don't have the confidence, because they don't even look confident. You can't, honestly, confidence, when you have an attractive physique, that type of confidence is earned. You get a superior type of confidence because you know that you've actually earned it. You've put in the work. When you've got that type of confidence, it's not hard to go and speak to girls. It's not hard to go outside to, you know, leave your bedroom. It's not hard to do those things because you've actually put in the work that allows you to become the type of man who can be confident around people and who can express themselves openly. And then the women that you're around will also express themselves openly. Like a lot of women are so forward, genuinely. They're giving you compliments. They're telling you like, let's go. Like, do you know what I mean? Like literally, let's go. And yeah, that's the way that women are acting when you've put in that work to become the most attractive version of yourself. And the majority of guys literally don't experience that. The majority of guys can't even fathom that. But then again, the majority of guys can't even fathom going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week for years on end and eating only whole foods and sleeping 8 to 10 hours a night and doing all those things that I've mentioned, right, to get an attractive physique. They also can't fathom that. So if you don't do those types of things that are going to allow you to build that body, then you don't even deserve to realize the actual potential that you have with dating and with your social circle, right? Even when you're wearing clothes, which is majority of the time, hopefully, right, your physique is having a massive impact. Like some guys will say that I want to be big and bulky like a bodybuilder because nobody can see that I lift through my clothes. It's not true whatsoever. And for starters, right, when you're appealing to the female gaze, you don't always need to look like you lift. You don't always need to look like a bodybuilder. What you actually want, you don't want the girl is going to know that you lift anyways, because you're going to have veins, you're going to have a V-taper, you know, the wide shoulders, which you can see through the shirt and everything. You can see it through a hoodie even. But you want to come across more subtle. You don't want to be walking around with your stringer with a protein shake in your hand, just looking like a complete fool, basically, right? You want to come across more subtle. Like the girl can tell that you're fit, that you're in shape, that you take care of yourself because your skin looks good, your face is lean, you got the veins on your arms, everything, right? But it comes across in a more subtle way. You don't need to openly scream to everyone that you go to the gym. People can tell, even from just like, forget the body, right? People are just looking at your face and they're looking at your neck, which is going to be thicker when you go to the gym. They're looking at your jawline, which is obviously going to be dialed, which is going to be chiseled when you're lean. And people are already looking at you thinking, yeah, this guy's attractive. And then you add the physique on top of that. You're wearing, say, like a slim fit shirt. You got this shirt hugging your biceps. You've got the lateral delts, the lats, which are causing that V-taper. Then you're just a specimen. People are looking at you like, is this guy a model? What does he do? He must be somebody because he's so attractive, he's so in shape. Why is he so in shape? Why is he so attractive? That's what the average person will think. They'll think there's a specific reason that you need to look good. Do you know? They think, oh, maybe he's an athlete, or maybe he's a, you know, whatever, right? Maybe he's a model. There's no reason that you have to be in shape. You should just be in shape for the sake of being attractive, for the sake of having respect for yourself. Like that's what it comes down to, really. You want good results in life with your dating, with your relationships, with your mentality. So of course you need to look good. Of course you need to have that physique that will allow you to have basic respect for yourself, right? Because in my opinion, people who are overweight, people who are skinny, people who don't care about their health, people who don't care about what they put in their mouth, people who don't care about the amount of exercise that they do, these people do not have respect for themselves. Basically, these people don't have the mentality to realize that they only have one body, right? You only have one vessel, one body. You have to take care of it. You only have one body which will show to the world who you perceive yourself to be. If you're overweight, if you're skinny, if you're eating anything and everything, you're not working out, you're showing to the world that I don't care about myself. I don't care about what I look like. I don't care about what you think of me. I don't care about what, you know, like that's not the way to be, especially when you want to be attractive. Like I can see that most people are overweight and unhealthy through the clothes, right? So when you're lean and attractive, people can also see that through the clothes. You don't have to worry. Sometimes it's actually a benefit. Like for example, say I've met a girl when I'm out or whatever, and already she can tell just from the confidence, from the energy, from the face. Even if I'm wearing like a hoodie or something, she can tell like this guy's in shape. This guy is a certain type of guy, you know. But then when you get into, say, a more intimate situation and the clothes come off, then it's like a shock, because sometimes it's like, oh, I knew this guy had something about him. I knew he was in shape, but I didn't know it was like this. I didn't know he had a fucking 8-pack. Sometimes it can actually work to your benefit, and then, you know, obviously it's obsessed from there. So don't worry about having to always show off your abs when you get lean, when you get attractive. It's going to be visible, don't worry. Being 8 to 12% body fat, having that V-taper is only going to improve your life. Honestly, anything that you have now is going to be better and feel better when you're lean and attractive. Honestly, literally anything you can think of, right? So most guys can't do it because it takes work. It takes discipline. It takes consistency. It takes some knowledge, right? You have to do the things. You have to do them consistently, and you have to do them effectively with full intent. You have to treat your diet seriously. You have to treat your training seriously. Up to a certain point, right? At a certain point, once you've done these things for a long time, once you've built them into habits, once you've made it your identity to just be the most attractive version of yourself, it becomes so easy. It's genuinely like brushing your teeth. Like for me to go to the gym, and for me to eat healthy, it's much harder for me to not do those things than to do them. Just like it's harder for me to not brush my teeth because I don't want, fucking yellow teeth and stinky breath than to brush them. So just that same way, it's much harder for me to not go to the gym and eat healthy because I despise being overweight and having no muscle and being unattractive much more than I despise going to the gym. I don't despise it at all, actually. I love it. I love eating healthy. I love the way it makes me feel. So once you get to that level, it might take a bit of work up front. It might be a bit of resistance when you got started. But once you start to see those results, the motivation just comes flooding in. You don't even need the discipline is not, it don't feel like discipline anymore. At the moment, the way you're thinking of discipline is like, okay, I'm going to do this thing that I don't want to do. Sometimes that is the case. Sometimes you don't feel like eating healthy. Sometimes you don't feel like going to the gym. You have to push past that to build your identity. But at a certain point, it doesn't feel that hard anymore. It just becomes a part of who you are. And you can do it so easily. It's unbelievable. You're going to need some patience. You're going to need some self-awareness as well to actually realize that your physique is not where you want it to be currently. But if you can do those things and commit to change, commit to discipline, commit to building the identity of someone who's lean, who's attractive, who thinks about things in a different perspective to get the results that they want, then the physique is going to be inevitable and the results are going to come with that as well. So take into account what I've said in the video and you're going to get there for sure. If you do want my help to build that lean, attractive physique to get those results I've talked about, then check the top link in the description. That's my program where I'm going to help you to do that. Loads of modules on how to get lean, how to build muscle correctly, how to get the mindset to actually become the most attractive version of yourself. And you can ask me questions as well if there's things that you're struggling with. Very useful tool if you want to become lean and attractive as fast as possible. So check that out if you're serious.